Hello everyone, my name is Rich Keener. I'm the Village Manager for the Village of Villa Park. It's my honor, and today's another one of our segments where I'll be discussing an upcoming board agenda. So today's segment I'll be talking about Monday, March 11th, formal board meeting. So let's go ahead and start. So number 1 on the agenda is the call to order, the roll call. Number 2 is the Pledge of Allegiance. Number 3 is public comments on agenda items. Folks, that's the appropriate time for anyone in the audience to come to the podium and ask the President and Board of Trustees or staff questions or comment on an item that's on the agenda. Number 4 is amendments to the agenda. Folks, that's the appropriate time for the President or a member of the board to modify the formal agenda that evening. Number 5 for Monday night, March 11th, is the consent agenda. Do have a couple items under the consent agenda. So 5A is the bill listing for the weeks of February 25th and March 4th, 2019, in the total amount of $1,154,325.89. 5B is minutes from the board meeting held on February 25th, 2019. So moving along for the agenda for Monday is number 6, which is a second reading on ordinances to be codified. So 6A is a second and final reading of an ordinance amending the municipal code of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, adding a prohibition of service to debtors of the village. And folks, this is just a reminder, this is the second reading. So the background is to decrease outstanding funds owed to the village and to increase revenue. It is recommended that debtors of the village shall not be entitled to any service, permit, license, or other village action or approval unless that debt is paid in full, except for water, sewer, and garbage service or emergency village services such as from the police and fire departments. It is recommended that Chapter 2, Article 2 of the Villa Park Municipal Code be amended to reflect the prohibition of these services to debtors of the village. So folks, basically, if there's a debt owed to the village, could be a parking ticket, could be a violation, a red speed violation, things of that nature, or maybe you owe some other funds to the village that you would not be entitled to, say, maybe a building permit or another license, could be a liquor license, things of that nature. You may owe the village places of eatings tax if you're a business. And in that case, you would probably be denied like a liquor license, things of that nature. So it's to decrease the outstanding funds and increase revenues to the village. So moving on to number 7 for Monday evening, 7A is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving an easement agreement granting permanent and temporary easements to the Village of Villa Park for 405 South Riverside Drive in an amount not to exceed $2,400. So folks, the background for this is the construction of a separate storm sewer on Highland Avenue between Monterey Avenue and Riverside Drive is proposed. In order to connect the proposed storm sewer into an existing outfall, the storm sewer would need to be extended across the property at 405 South Riverside Drive. In support of the DuPage County Stormwater Ordinance, the necessary permanent and temporary easement documents have been prepared by the village and signed by the property owner. However, the easements must be accepted by the board before work can begin. It is requested that the village board accept the easements and approve the payment in the amount of $2,400 to the property owner located at 405 South Riverside Drive. Payment for this easement would be taken from the wastewater fund account number 83-502-02-401. So folks, we want to install a sewer in this area, and it happens to go across private property. And so we'll need a temporary and a permanent easement. A temporary easement for construction, permanent easement for maintenance of the storm sewer. And this is kind of like an ordinary, if I will, normal process to obtain the easement. And the $2,400 involves the removal of a large tree on their property because it's in the way, and the homeowner has agreed for payment in $2,400, and then we'll remove the tree and then install the storm sewer. So moving on to 7B is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, accepting a proposal to purchase a 2019 Ford F-250 Super Cab truck from Landmark Ford, Inc. in an amount not to exceed $38,847. Existing vehicle number 65, a 2006 Ford F-250, is scheduled for replacement in the village's calendar year 2019 budget. Staff requests authorization to purchase one 2019 Ford F-250 Super Cab four-wheel drive truck through the State of Illinois Central Management Services Joint Purchasing Program from Landmark Ford of Springfield, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed $38,847. Funding for this purchase is budgeted in the Equipment Replacement Fund, account number 65-50202-401. Due to its poor condition, existing vehicle number 65 would be sold at auction. And folks, obviously vehicle 65 is in very poor condition, needs to be replaced, so this is a proposal to replacement. Usually we'll take a replaced vehicle and then move it into a different department so it lasts, but obviously this one is in very poor condition and we just want to sell it at auction and not give it to another department for use. So moving on, we have 7C for Monday night, which is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, accepting a proposal to purchase a 2019 F-250 truck with service body from Landmark Ford, Inc. in an amount not to exceed $39,271. Existing vehicle number 33, a 1999 Ford F-250, is scheduled for replacement in the vehicle's calendar year 2019 budget. Staff requests authorization to purchase one 2019 F-250 four-wheel drive truck with service body through the State of Illinois Central Management Services Joint Purchasing Program from Landmark Ford of Springfield, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed $39,271. Funds for this purchase is budgeted in Equipment Replacement Fund account number 65-50202-401. So folks, what we'll do is hopefully this will be approved Monday and we'll replace vehicle number 33, and that vehicle is going to be rotated to a different department, and then eventually we'll have another vehicle that's not suitable to hang on to. That'll be sold at auction. So it might take a couple of weeks to end up with a vehicle to sell through auction. And this F-Ford 250 is a four-wheel drive with a service body, and that means that this will carry tools. So we'll have some tool holders, if you will, boxes in the bed to hold tools, which will be used to repair vehicles in the field and things of other nature throughout the village, and fixing fleet cars and things of that nature. So moving on to number 8 for Monday night is public comments on a non-agenda items, which means that if you're in the audience, you can come to the podium, be recognized by the village president, and comment on items that are not on the agenda for Monday night. Number 9 is the village clerk's report. Number 10 is the village trustees report. Number 11 is my report. Number 11 is the village president's report. 12 is my report, the village manager's report. Number 13 is executive closed session. So we do have a number of items. So we have 5 ILCS 120-2 C1, personnel matters. We have C2, collective bargaining matters. We have C5, purchase or lease of property. We have C6, sale or lease of property. We have C11, which is pending litigation. And we have C21, discussion of closed session minutes. And so folks, we'll go into executive closed session, we'll come out, and we do have 2 items after executive closed session. And item number 1 under 14 is 14A, which is an ordinance approving a site access and inspection indemnification agreement by and between the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, and GC Properties LLC. So folks, the background on this item is that the Village of Villa Park is interested in purchasing the property at 110 South Villa Avenue for use as parking for the South Villa Avenue Downtown Business District. Prior to the purchase of the site, it is recommended that a Phase 2 environmental site assessment be conducted. This indemnification agreement will allow access to the site to perform tasks associated with an environmental assessment. Staff recommends acceptance of the indemnification agreement. So folks, just as I mentioned, the Village